Equations with fractions. You did some of this work last year, so the first few examples will be revision. 1/5 x plus 2 equals 10. What we want to do is to get rid of the fraction because it makes the equation easier to solve. Now, here is the fraction term here. We've got 1/5 x, 1 over 5x. We can see that we've got 5 on the bottom. 5 is the denominator. And the question we should ask ourselves in all of these questions is, what do we do to get rid of the dividing quantity? Well, the opposite of divide is multiply. And if you want to get rid of a dividing 5, you will multiply by 5. Now, we're going to multiply this number by 5, this number by 5, and this number by 5. 5 times 1 is 5. So you'll notice that the denominator doesn't change, that stays as 5. You'll notice as well that it's still an x. It's not a 5x. 5 times 2 is 10, and then 5 times 10 is 50. What we can now do is simplify. If we look at the fraction, 5 divided by 5 just gives us 1. And you should be familiar with the next steps. We want to get the x term on its own, so we'll subtract 10 from both sides. 1x then equals 40. Here's a second example. We ask ourselves the same question. What do we have to do to get rid of the dividing quantity? Well, the opposite of divide is multiply. And if we want to get rid of a dividing 4, we have to multiply by 4. Now, the next question is, what do we multiply by 4? Well, I'm going to multiply this by 4. That means that the whole of the first term is being multiplied by 4. I'm going to multiply this by 4, and I'm going to multiply this by 4 as well. 4 times 3 then is 12. Notice again at the bottom, the denominator does not change, it's still 4. X, 4 times 5 is 20. It's a minus 20, of course. And 4 times 1 is 4. Now, let's look at the fraction. 12 over 4, that fraction has to simplify. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So we have 3x minus 20 equals 4. Next step, we want to get the x term on its own, so we're going to leave this 3x here and add 20 to both sides. So 3x equals 24. Finally, divide by 3, and x is 24 over 3. Remember, the dividing 3 goes on the bottom on the right hand side. Then x equals 8. Third example. We can see now that the fraction term is in second place. That shouldn't make any difference to our working. So what is it we want to do? We want to get rid of a dividing 7. So we're going to multiply by 7. Multiplying by 7 gets rid of a dividing 7, and that removes the fraction. So what we're going to multiply? Well, we're going to multiply this 8. We're going to multiply the 2, the numerator of the fraction. And we're going to multiply the 12. Now you need to be careful, because very often mistakes result from the fact that people forget to multiply a term. So 7 8s are 56, 7 2s are 14, and 7 12s are 84. Now, we want to simplify this term. 14 divided by 7, that's nice and simple. 14 divided by 7 is 2, so we have 2y. I'm going to subtract 56 from both sides. 2y then equals 84, take away 56, 28, and the last thing to do is to divide by 2, 28 divided by 2, and that gives us 14. What I'd like you to do now is to go to your textbook and turn to page 139, exercise 12.3 and try question 2 parts A to F. And when you're ready, you can move on to the slightly harder examples.